following program is classified G. It's suitable for all ages.
A very good evening and thank you for joining with us on Business Best. This is a platform where we showcase the best in the business, and we will be introducing to you people who have excelled in their particular field in order to showcase their latest developments in their respective industries. So today on the show we have a business or an innovator, I would say, who has come up with this tremendous device for people who are having difficulties at the moment to afford technology or software at this time, and the people who have the passion to learn about robotics or engineering. So with that, I would like to invite the leader and the CEO of Gavesha, Ushan Chaminda. Thank you very much for joining with us on the show. So I think I gave a little glimpse on what Gavesha is about. Why don't you give our audience a very elaborate view on what the devices that you provide and what Gavesha is all about?
Actually, thanks, Janali. So Gavesha, we call ourselves Gavesha Labs. So basically what we're doing is doing explorations. So we as inventors, we do learning a lot of things. So we want our kids, especially our kids and the young generation, to do innovations, because innovation is the key to successful country, successful economy. So we make devices and software for our kids to learn about technology, starting from electronics, robotics, and a lot more about computing. So that's what we basically do, and for the time I can explain more things during the discussion.
Right, Ushan. So why don't you tell us what the device is all about and what your innovation is at the moment, and what was the inspiration for you to come up with this in the first place?
Shenali, actually, when I was a kid, my parents didn't have enough money to buy a computer for me, but I know I was very interested about technology and I want to get hands-on experience on those things, but I had to wait long time until my elder brother got into a job and buy a computer. So as a kid it was real painful memory, but when I grow I became an engineer, and again one day I got a thought, why not, there are kids again like me, so why not do something for them. So we thought about as engineers, is there a way to make a computer, make a gadget that can help kids to get that experience. So with time actually we made this mini computer. We call it a Gavesha mini computer. It's about 5,000 rupees. You will be get amazed, it's a really affordable one. So anyone who live in the country, especially kids, can get start with this mini computer and get their experience and get ready for the tech future, which is filled with technology. So that's the basic about the how we started thing. Actually, right now we are really happy to say that actually we made some breakthroughs in our technology as Sri Lankan in domain like this, domain like high computing and kind of thing, electronic. So that's the story about Gavesha, how we started. Actually, it's again me and my two friends working on this project with our best to make this affordable for every kid in our country.
Right, Ushan. So now I'm very curious to know, you just mentioned that people can afford this mini computer for 5,000 rupees.
Exactly.
I'm trying to process how you did this. Why don't you give our audience how you came up with this and what are the features that this mini computer can offer?
Exactly. Okay. When I'll start with something like this. When come to computer, it's a machine that you can program, nothing else, right? You can write programs, do a lot of kind of thing. Even every video processing thing, right now we are using that one, the power of that technology to broadcast this particular program. So that's a program running inside a computer. What we made, we thought about, since we are focusing on kids don't need to have a lot of processing power. They just need to get maximum fun out of the technology and learn. So we choose much affordable processors. We don't have to go for expensive processors. We choose much affordable processors, and we put, you can see a small LCD screen here. That's quite enough for kids to get started with their programming and do some magical things. So that's how we basically got the affordability there. So we choose whatever the best affordable electronic components and again software as well to make this one. So again, likewise doing that, we were able to reduce the cost for about 5,000.
Okay, so what are the advantages of using this particular item, and what can you basically do with this? What's the advantage that kids can get from this?
Okay, so best thing is the limitation of Gavesha mini computer is limited to the imagination of its user. For example, say there are kids, lovely kids, they love about mechanical things. Some kids really like to do some mechanical stuff. So they can make robots with Gavesha using this as a brain of that particular robot. Again, some kids love farming, right? Farming is really interesting thing we have to do. So some kids love on those subjects. So they can use this computer to control their farm, say automated water control system and automated nutrition distribution system if they want. So their home garden will be much fruitful. I mean, if they can control the environment with the help of these mini computers, so they can use for those aspects. Actually, as I said, limitation is about is limited to the limitation of limit of the imagination of our kids. So if you imagine to do something, say example you want to make a remote control car, you can make it. So our idea is to empower kids with a technology that is much easier to work. As I said, again, the affordability is again there to start with their learning about the technology. So that's the things we are working. This is about the vesting over the computer, Gavesha.
Right. So if I'm not mistaken, this device can enable anything to work.
Yeah. Say example, you have a washing machine in your home. Again, think about the TV. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we forget to turn off the TV. Sometimes, right, when we go out. So if you want to make your TV shut down within half or something, you leave the half an hour or something. Once you leave the home, you can make it with this particular device. You have to plug this into a module. Actually, Gavesha also have some modules to interface with different devices. Say if you want to control the AC current, then you can control the TV and everything. Like it's like a remote control. There are switches. You can plug it to this computer and program it to shut down once you leave the home. So you can there are a little bit of programming you have to do with this one. That's why we need to teach the kid. So kids have to program it and make it happen.
That's interesting to hear. Okay, so other than the mini computer, what are the other devices that Gavesha offers?
Yeah, actually, first thing, we have modules to interface with different gadgets. For example, say if you want to make a robot, mm-hmm. you have to have a way to control motors and actuators kind of thing. So Gavesha, this is only the brain. So it has a thinking power, but you have to have that muscles to control the powerful motors and kind of thing. So we have module for that. Again, if you want to control your TV without your remote control, we have we call this IR technology. Actually, that's what you're using in TV. We have module again. You can plug it and control your TV. And again, we are doing a really interesting one in Sri Lanka. Actually, we are making oscilloscope kind of instruments, lab equipment, which you need to have to, see what are the things happening in electronic. For example, now we are talking now. So we have mic here. So idea is when I'm talking, the pressure waves are going here and there from my mouth, and mic can detect it and make an electronic signal. That's how mic works. So we have a oscilloscope, we can plug it and see how the waves are working. So if I say sa, there is a certain tone, right? Kids can see it from this screen. This is how the sa waveform is working. So we can get the idea of science and again the idea of music. So that's something we are working on. So oscilloscope device, actually we were able to make it for 8,000 rupees. Right now oscilloscopes are about 75,000 in Sri Lanka. We made it for kids to make it affordable. So basically there are more equipments are coming. Actually, once the things are completed, it will be a complete lab in your home. Basically kids can use to explore the world.
Right, okay. I think you mentioned something about an application, a phone application also, just before this program. So can you tell me the compatibility with that application and this device, and what are the other features this application provides?
Yeah, exactly. So I mentioned that you had to program it, right?
Yes.
So to program a computer, like a computer, this is a mini computer like this, you need to have a support of another big computer. That's how things work, right? You have to write the codes and instruction to, okay, do this, do this, do this. The example I said about that home automation, automation thing.
Yes.
So you have to write the code. So, computers are expensive, really expensive. So we thought, why not? Now we made a mini computer, which is much affordable. Now how to write a program, because we can't plug a keyboard to here, unfortunately. So we thought, everyone has a smartphone, right? You have right now one with you. So we developed a software application. It's a mobile application, which you can write codes, everything. There are much more things about the application. We'll talk that again, lessons and kind of thing. So you have the mobile application, you can code it there and transfer those instructions over the Bluetooth to this device. Actually, this one has a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity actually, so you can control this from anywhere around from your world, basically, once you connect to the internet.
Right, Ushan, I'll have to stop you there for a moment because we have to go into a break.
Yeah, sure.
So that was our first half of Business Best. We'll be going into a commercial break. We'll be back soon. Stay with us. Welcome back to Business Best, and we are in discussion with the CEO and the founder of Gavesha. I think, Ushan, you gave a very good introduction, a very complex explanation to what Gavesha is about and what the devices that they are offering, and also about the application, the phone application as well. There's something that I really want to ask you as well. You mentioned something about Make a Station.
Yeah.
That's something a little bit apart from Gavesha. So why don't you explain about that as well?
Actually, that's the sort of starting point of Gavesha. So actually, as I said, I had a bad childhood, because not in that way, because I want these things to with me, but I couldn't afford those things. So that's how we came with the Gavesha. But before that, when I was at my university, I also again had to do, I had the knack to develop things, but there are no facilities around in Sri Lanka to get started with developing things. It's really hard to find these 3D printers, kind of latest technologies in a single place, and they are much expensive. So we thought, why not we start a place? There are a lot of people like us, crazy about technology. So why not a place that those people come and work? So let's buy those expensive machines and put in those places, and there will be people coming work there. So we will be there again for help, for them to help. So we start a place called Maker Station. It's like for station for makers. So and it's a really a small place, but really energetic place. A lot of kids from universities came there and did their innovations there. So it's really interesting. Now these COVID days, it's a little bit it's not accessible, but once things will be happy, I'm really happy to invite people who are really interested about technology, visit there and make your imagination something real. Machines and tools, everything will be there for you.
That's, I think, a very good initiative as well, to create a space for the innovators out there to explore their mind. So how do you hope to expand this? Do you want to make the space bigger or launch it to a different location? Actually,
original idea was to go with franchisee model. Actually, we want Maker Stations to be every place in the country. When come to a physical business, it's limited by the location. Right now, so we were to address it Gavesha. So because again, physical limitations is there. No? So we have a plan. We had a plan to franchise it to every city and location. So every kid will have a Maker Station in their village, so they can go and do their innovation. That's the idea we had.
Right, Ushan. So when you're implementing this business, Gavesha or Make a Station, were there any challenges that you faced? And how did you overcome these?
Yeah, actually, when it comes to technology, in Sri Lanka there are two sort of main streams. First one is a software domain, and in Sri Lanka it's really good. There are a lot of high-tech companies in Sri Lanka. They're doing really good. And the other branch is hardware. It's sort of new when it comes to computing kind of technology we are working on. The biggest challenge we have is the arms of manufacturing. There should be some manufacturers in country which are affordable, because we are focusing on much affordable construction. So finding such manufacturers and it again need a lot of funds. For each device you have to spend money before you get into the sale. So there are two challenges. We sort of solve out things, so with getting partnership with foreign countries, especially from China. There are a lot of great manufacturers, so we start with that. And for funding, we talking with some investor kind of thing. So we are solving the issue one by one. Those are the biggest two things we had. And when it comes to acceptance about the product right now, kids are I had really cool experience. I used to learn these kind of things when I was in university. I think after fourth year, actually, when I'm working my own startup, I got an invitation from my school to visit and do a lecture for kids. I thought, kids, they don't know about these things. When I go there was only grade 7 and grade 8 kids. They are talking about things I did in my university. So, kids are really into this. So, when it comes to acceptance, I think people will not hesitate to buy this. Even the parents know the technology is we are moving in technology, so we have to give that modern technology for kids. The biggest challenges right now, as I said, the manufacturing a hardware product in Sri Lanka is really difficult. There's a huge process there. And the capital again is a challenging thing, but we are solving things. That's what we have to do as investors, entrepreneurs now. So we have challenges. We are going to solve one by one.
Right. Okay. So when are you? This product has not been launched yet in the market, right?
Yeah.
So when do you plan on doing so, and what's actually keeping you from doing it?
Yeah. As a mini computer product is not available for market. It's only on MVP stage. We are also working some improvements as well. But we initially we had a thought to launch this by end of 20, actually at the beginning of this year. But things went very difficult due to this COVID situation. So we postponed the market launch of the hardware to 2022 April. I mean, when the next new year you can buy some computer for your kid as a gift. But since we are working on software and hardware both. We have the mobile application, so we already launched the application. So right now you can use our application to program existing devices. Like there are platforms like Arduino, open source platforms that are really famous. So you can use those. Our application program those way. So if you're interested, you can try out our application. It's already on Google Play Store. I mean, as a beta application, so you can test it.
Once this product is launched, do you have a target market in your mind, or a specific sector or a location which you feel that from this area only that you'll get the most demand?
Yeah, actually we made our product entirely thinking about the user who's about age 10. Right, so that's the thing. So our primary target is their parents. We have to focus on them. So we are right now using social media as the key channel to reach them, and that's what we did. And already there are huge community around us in our Facebook page, and who are really interested about technology. So they're following it us, testing everything. So that's the main channel we are using to reach our target customers, basically parents. And again, there are kids who are doing A levels and all. So again in Facebook, right? So they are also following us. That way we are reaching the customer. But when the product is available, it will be you can buy it from usual stationery shops, bookshops kind of thing. It will be available for you to buy on those shops.
What do you think about the school education system at the moment regarding robotics? Don't you think it's a good idea to introduce this product to our schools here in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, actually it should, because technology is the key in the future, right? It should be there. If technology is not with us with our next generation, we will be lag behind compared to other countries. So it should be there. Right now, in syllabus wise, there are no such things in our education system. But there's an interesting thing, as I said, kids and teachers, they are really interested about this, learning this technology. I got invitation from my school from people who got that same interest now. So there are a lot of robotic clubs and things are happening in the country. So it's there, and I hope it will be a formal thing in the future. So our kids can learn it much better way.
for now, have you experienced any drawbacks or negative aspects of using this product?
Yeah, there are a lot of things, that's how technology works. We make something, people use it, and they think, okay, can you add this one, because our app is already in there, the hardware is not there, so there are no lot of comments about that. But for the app, actually, we have a lot. There are around 200 users right now testing the application. So they are mentioning about why not add these kind of features. For example, we have a programming feature, but sometimes it's this is a techie subject, no? So sometimes people get confused about mapping the circuits and kind of things. So they are asking, can you put this little beautiful picture of the circuit so they can look at it and do the programming easily. So we got such feedbacks. That's the nature of technology business, Shinali. We can't come up with one product that works for eternal time. We have to go through cycles. So we are dedicating our time to improve the product, every day actually. So when the time passes, we'll, our apps and the entire system will be much better.
Of course, I understand. Since this is literally in the testing stage right now, you must be experiencing a lot of drawbacks. So as my final question, Ushan, what is your final vision for your company? Yeah, actually, Shanali, we want to see a future where kids learn from their environment with practical manner. We are sort of limited to textbooks and whiteboards. So we want our kids to learn from our environment. So we want to see them enjoying with the nature and map these things logically to come up with some brilliant things. So we want to see that someday. That's why we are making tools for empower them. So someday we'll actually we have personally our entire team has a vision that someday there will be rockets going from our country, to the moon. So that's what we want to see. So that's what we are working. Right, Ushan. Well, this is all the time we have on the program, and I believe that we had a very useful discussion and a very elaborate discussion as well. So thank you again for joining us on the program. I wish you all the best as well with Gavesha.
Yeah, thanks, Shanali. Thanks for having me and giving opportunity to shout out about the product and everything. And it's a really good program. Hope you success.
And that was our program today on Business Best. We will be back again next week with a brand new product or service that will be able to enlighten you with something new. But don't go anywhere, because the blueprint is up next with where you can get some useful business tips and tools. Until then, I'm Suzanne Shanali. Stay safe and have a good night.